Hi, my name is Emma Yu, and today I will be talking about the AP Calculus AB FRQ number 15, question number 5. So let's take a look at the problem. The figure above shows the graph of f prime, the derivative of a twice differentiable function f, on the interval -3 to 4. The graph of f prime has horizontal tangents at x equals -1, x equals 1, and x equals 3. The areas of the regions bounded by the x-axis and the graph of f prime on the intervals -2 to 1 and 1 to 4 are 9 and 12 respectively. Part A. Find all x coordinates at which f has a relative maximum. Give a reason for your answer. B. On what open intervals contained in -3 to 4 is the graph of f both concave down and decreasing? Give a reason for your answer. C. Find the x-coordinates of all points of inflection for the graph of f. Give a reason for your answer. And Part D. Given that f of 1 equals 3, write an expression for f of x that involves an integral. Find f of 4 and f of -2. Let's go back to part A, which asks us to find the x-coordinates at which f has a relative maximum, and to give a reason for our answer. So, as we can see from the graph of f prime of x equals 0 at x equals -2, x equals 1, and x equals 4. At x equals -2, f prime of x changes from positive to negative, so it is a relative maximum. Part B asks us on what open intervals contained from -3 to 4 is the graph of f both concave down and decreasing. So, concave down and decreasing means that f prime of x is negative and has negative slope. So as we can see from the graph of f prime, from -2 to -1 and 1 to 3, the graph of f prime is both negative and has negative slope. So that means it's concave down and decreasing. Part C. Find the x-coordinates of all points of inflection for the graph of f. Give a reason for your answer. So, to find points of inflection, we can either use f double prime of x or f prime of x. For f double prime of x, we would have to see where f double prime of x changes sign from negative to positive or positive to negative. And for f prime, which we're given, it would be the points at which the slope changes from negative to positive or positive to negative. So, at x equals -1, the slope changes from negative to positive. At x equals 1, the slope changes from positive to negative. And at x equals 3, the slope changes from negative to positive. So those are all points of inflection. So we are given that f of 1 equals 3, and we're also given the graph of f prime. So we can see that f of x would equal 3 f of 1 plus the integral from x to 1 of f prime of t dt. So to find f of 4 and f of -2, we need to use this f of x equation. So f of 4 would equal 3 plus the integral from 1 to 4 of f prime of t dt. And using the given information up here, we can then plug in our numbers. So it'd be 3 plus -12. And it has to be negative because f prime of x at 1 to 4 is negative. So 3 plus -12 equals -9. For f of -2, it would be 3 plus the integral of f prime of t dt from 1 to -2, which equals 3 plus the negative integral from -2 to 1 of f prime of t dt. And also in the given information above, we're also given that the area underneath the curve from -2 to 1 is 9. But because f prime of x at -2 to 1 is negative, so we have to make sure that that is negative. So it's 3 minus -9, which is 12. Now let's look at the rubric, which will tell us the grading guidelines for the AP exam so we can better know how to answer the question so we fulfill all the requirements. So part A is out of 2 points, one for identifying x equals -2 as the x-coordinate at which f has a relative maximum, and the second point is for the answer with a reason, which would be that f prime of x changes from positive to negative, which makes it a relative maximum. So part B is also out of 2 points, one for giving the correct intervals of -2 to -1 and 1 to 3, and 1 point for the reason, which would be that it's concave down and decreasing because f prime of x is negative and has negative slope at those intervals. Part C is also out of 2 points, and 1 point is given for identifying x equals -1, x equals 1, and x equals 3, all as points of inflection. And another point is given for the reasons, which would be saying how the slope changes at each of these points, which would make it a point of inflection. And part D is out of 3 points, 1 for the correct integral, which would be this one for the expression for f of x, which is 3 plus the integral from x to 1 of f prime of t dt, and the last point would be for the correct answers of f of 4 and f of -2, which are -9 and 12. Thanks for watching! I hope you guys liked my video. If you guys still need help on questions similar to this, you can check out the FRQ from 2002, number 4, 2003, number 4, 2004, number 5, 2009, number 6, 2010, number 5, 2012, number 3, 2013, number 4, 2014, number 3, and 2016, number 3. And I'm pretty sure some of my other classmates also made videos regarding these questions, so be sure to check them out.